Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. The PNM, 1% PNM, mainstream media loving PNM, is warning that the proposed Home Invasion Bill 2025 law does not exempt a homeowner from due process when a deadly incident occurs at their home. Wow, we didn't know that. The opposition is stressing that the Stand Your Ground law, as it is being called, is neither a get-out-of-jail-free card nor a panacea for crime. Wow. Thanks for the information, Penny. Thank you. My response, this woman really thinks that everyone is drunk with Balize juice. Do police officers have a do police officers have a get out of jail free card? No. And they're allowed to use deadly force when confronted by armed criminals? Yes. Anyone with common sense will understand that if a crime scene is staged, the homeowner will be charged with murder. Nevertheless, no stranger has a right to be jumping over walls and attempting to break into people's homes. You demonic, evil woman. PNM continues to show this population that they care more about the lives and safety of their precious patriotic bandits than the lives of law-abiding citizens of all races here in TNT. I told friends and family from day one, I've said it over and over again in my videos here, Penny is going to continue PNM's legacy of obstruction and being authors of confusion. Up till the other day, I think it was earlier this year or last year, when a guy staged a home invasion and the police therefore found out afterwards that it was he that murdered his wife. And it had an investigation, people. You cannot just go around just killing family members and saying that you thought was bandits. People know that that is common sense. I'm not saying it wouldn't have the few that wouldn't try it, but they will end up in jail, people. But this law, in general, is to protect the mass population from these Trinidadites, a lot of them PNM supporters, who want to jump over the fence, jump over your walls, and deal with people. And deal with people in many different ways. And one of the ways is by withdrawing their so-called ancestral inheritance from people's homes, from people's businesses. We have the right to defend ourselves, people. And therefore, that is why we are supposed to continue to support it, supporting two things. The right to bear arms, all citizens of all races, Afro-Chinese, Indo-Chinese, Chinese, whomever you may be, Syrian Chinese and all, Lebanese Chinese. I'm not talking about the 1% because they are already protected. Talk about the common man. We, the people, have the rights to be able to defend ourselves from these Trinidadian patriots who want to seek to kill and destroy and take everything that we own, but in their minds, it belongs to them. No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Enjoy free island-wide delivery. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. The work of the independent committee charged with investigating the death of 6-year-old Joshua Francois continues. So what it is you all really have to investigate, so boy? This has nothing to do with the UNC. This has to do from basically a ground level public servants, whoever these individuals are that are conducting this investigation. They should have had a criminal investigation. Police should be involved in this investigation, in my opinion, although I don't trust the police either. Joshua Francois died on August 7th after being admitted to the San Fernando General Teaching Hospital for a cough. According to Minister of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, attorneys have been engaged by the parents of the young boy, and I fully support them 100%. He said this matter is in the hands of a committee which is appointed by myself under the direction of the Prime Minister. Once again, I have nothing against, I believe that the Kamala Prasad administration is genuinely trying to assist these parents. But when you put these investigations in the hands of these public servants that are biased and will want to protect their colleagues in the health sector, I have no confidence in this whatsoever. They should have brought in some kind of international body, some investigative body, to be able to investigate this, to probe this matter. He went on to say, I believe the work of the committee is still ongoing. I believe that the attorneys have been engaged by the parents, which is their right to do so, just as I just said, and I support them 100%. But I'm still waiting a final report on that matter. My response, doctors and nurses live far above the law, just like the police officers, here in Trinidad and Tobago. Nevertheless, people, even if these parents don't end up receiving any kind of justice, at least not, they may not end up seeing any doctor, the one that fold her arms so, and the next nurse who actually said, yes, daddy, put it back. We have to put back on the drips. We have to put it back on, even though the little boy was bawling out in pain. Nurse said, nah, that is okay. He just going through what all other children just go through when they take any medication. Don't study it. And the child ended up dying. Right? But at the end of the day, God knows and sees all. And He will be the perfect avenger. The Bible says it, people. God doesn't just say for us just to forgive and love our enemies, He says, leave judgment in the hands of God. That doesn't mean I don't want the parents to take legal action. I want them to. But what I'm saying is, even if the justice system fails, ma'am and sir, God is not going to fail you. Judgment will fall. Rest assured, my brother and sister, judgment will fall.
Hands of a committee which was appointed by myself on the direction of the Prime Minister. That the work of the committee is still ongoing. I believe that attorneys have been engaged by the parents, which is their right to so do. But I'm still awaiting a final report on that matter.
No idea for time frame?
Not at this point in time.
Okay, no problem.
Following his death, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa instructed that a full and urgent investigation be conducted into the matter. Minister Bodo gave commitments that the investigation would be conducted with the highest degree of fairness, care and sensitivity.
You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. New Port of Spain General Hospital Central Block now set for March 2026 completion. Anticipated to positively impact the delivery of healthcare, the 12-story, 540-bed Port of Spain Central Block was expected to be delivered in July this year. However, a tour of the health facility on Friday morning painted a different picture. And unlike the PNM, the patriotic PNM, the UNC is all about transparency and accountability. They invited the media to enter the building and see for themselves the condition it still is in. Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jolene John, accompanied by Minister of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, Minister in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Richard Sicharan, and the staff of the project managers, the Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, UDICOT, invited members of the media to tour the facility. That is what the PNM should have done. It's just, instead of just holding a ceremony, opening ceremony, somewhere else in one little area. Minister John told reporters that the block is far from finished. And when I saw pictures and the videos of it or whatsoever, saying the ceiling still open. What the patriotic PNM sufferers want people to do, open it, and it isn't completed. My response, PNM will say this video is AI-jed. Yes, because I tell you, it has video footage showing it's incomplete, people. They will go on and say, we precious PNM declared the hospital open, but Kamala just trying to make we people look bad and trying to keep it closed. A patriotic PNM sufferer online said it a little while ago in the comment section. Said, oh, UNC don't want to open the Port of Spain hospital, but they're going for the Couva hospital. Blatant lies, you know, because the Port of Spain Central Block will be open. It will be open in March. But this man or woman, I don't know. The picture looks like a man, but I don't know. The name looks as though it's a female name. This person, for years now, spewing total hardcore racism and also lies on behalf of the PNM.
Anticipated to positively impact the delivery of healthcare, the 12-story, 540-bed Port of Spain Central Block was expected to be delivered in July this year. However, a tour of the health facility painted a different story. Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlene John, accompanied by Minister of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, Minister in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Rishad Sitaran, other staff of Project Managers Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, UDICOT, invited members of the media to tour the facility.
I'm being told it's 90% complete, but I've done these things over the course of my career. I wouldn't say it's 90% complete. I wish it was. I will allow UDICOT to correct the information and to really say what percentage complete, but we will not unreasonably delay the opening of this hospital. We can't because the people need it.
The minister confirmed that work on the facility continued apace despite the change in government. She said the people of Trinidad and Tobago need and deserve world-class healthcare facilities. And with just over $1 billion price tag attached, the minister said the government cannot be irresponsible with taxpayers' money.
They deserve the best medical care. And that is what infrastructure such as, whether it's Couva, Point 14, or Rima, this one will represent hopefully in the long run. If we really bring on the beds, we commission well, we operationalize well, and there's a vision for excellent healthcare for our people.
The facility will include state-of-the-art radiology, laboratory, surgical and critical care units, and will have the ability to house patients needing intensive and high-dependency care. Minister of Health Dr. Lakram Bodo shared Minister John's evaluation of the state of readiness of the facility, commenting that there is still a long way to go to house patients.
No matter you have beds and so on, without the proper medical equipment, diagnostic and laboratory services and so on, you will not be able to treat patients. So, as Minister John stated, our government is all about, working for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we anxiously await, the day when this hospital will be fully open and operational to benefit all of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
UDICOT has given March 26, 2026 as the deadline for completion. The previous Port of Spain General Hospital Central Block was challenged by infrastructure and congestion issues, with Cabinet approving its replacement by note in 2017. Ayana Carter, TTT News.
Now for some regional news, police in St. Catherine South Division are searching for hoodlums. I will call them Trinidadites here in Trinidad and Tobago, but across in Jamaica with Jamaican bandits, I guess, who fatally shot one man and wounded 4 others in the Portsmouth community in Portmore on Thursday night. Dead is 19-year-old Rashad Smith of 4th Avenue, Portsmouth. Peaceful region. That's what the Caribbean tribals say. We are living in a peaceful region. We don't want war. And yet this war that has been waged by the Trump administration will reduce violence on all various levels. Less drug trafficking and human trafficking, people. There'll be less of produce for the gangs to operate with. But anyhow, moving on. A Haitian gang attacked a small town northwest of Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, killing, kidnapping, and burning down buildings. Listen to this, people. Listen to this. Killing, kidnapping, and burning down buildings as gang violence devours the Caribbean nation. Gunmen opened fire on the streets of Bassin Bleu around noon on Thursday, killing at least one high school teacher, innocent person, according to local leader Rodlet Jean Baptiste, speaking on Radio Caribbean. Sounds like a really peaceful region we're living in, and No. But you see the tribals here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the region, they don't care about gang war. They don't care about turf war. They just don't want the white man in our region dead, even though it's going to assist in reducing crime. That's how evil and this demonic people, tribalism, racism is. Now for some international news, mudslides and debris flows knocked down trees, plowed into homes, and trapped drivers for 10 hours after several Southern California communities were hit by heavy rain. Authorities said no one was hurt, thankfully, and authorities were able to get them out, and no one is reported missing. Christopher Prata, a public information officer for San Bernardino County Fire, said yesterday. Nevertheless, people, these sorts of natural disasters are going to continue to increase in these final years of the end times because the hearts of mankind continues to become more evil and despising God, despising sound biblical doctrine. When you start to see judgment falling, because a lot of judgment has begun to fall on America and other places around the world in Europe, like in France and so forth, and even Russia with these earthquakes. When these types of judgment begin to fall, don't ask why. It's because God has begun to pour out his righteous wrath upon this evil world, especially against those who despise his people in Israel. Conservative target. After the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, his friend and fellow conservative influencer Riley Gaines is speaking out about her own experience with left-wing campus violence from a 2023 event. She was targeted a whole lot, persecuted as well. Gaines said that Gaines said that the San Francisco event, radical trans activists attacked her and forced her to take refuge in a classroom for hours as university police failed to disperse the hostile crowd. That's been happening to Jewish students around America as well, being locked into rooms, being prohibited from even entering certain dorm rooms, buildings, whatsoever, classrooms. Telling it's evil, and this is why I'm telling you, judgment is going to continue to fall. Gaines told Fox News Digital that protesters demanded money if she wanted to see her family again. Craziness, I'm telling you. My response, though, stop holding events in open spaces. The left's war against conservatives, especially Christian conservatives, has gone to a whole new level. This is just the beginning, people. Charlie Kirk's murder is just the beginning. Stand up for truth, but use wisdom as well. If you're going to have any of these kind of conferences, hold them in enclosed areas. You're going to reduce the possibility of an assassination taking place. Candace Owens says there's 0% chance she's going to Charlie Kirk's memorial, especially not while she's attacking the feds. That's a whole new narrative. Instead, she's going to listen to Power in her headphones and go see Ye. I don't know if Ye is what, Kanye West? I don't know. But anyhow, my response, you can see it in her eyes. I'm telling you, go and look at some of her most recent videos, especially the one when she was actually making all kind of accusations and saying how Charlie Kirk did not want to go and visit Prime Minister Netanyahu because he was feeling pressured by the Jewish people and all kind of nonsense into supporting Israel. Her voice has changed. She songs, I'm telling you, she songs demon possessed, and you can see it in her eyes as well. So I said you can see it in her eyes and in her voice. This isn't the same Candace Owens who used to be loved by millions around the world, including myself. I had loved Candace Owens. There was a point in time years ago that I even wanted Candace Owens to run as president, to become the president of the United States. Now, hell no, never, never, never. This woman is possessed by legions. I'm telling you, people, something is definitely wrong with that woman, and also Tucker Carlson, along with a whole lot of others, people, a whole lot of others that consider themselves MAGA, But I don't even know if she labels herself MAGA anymore, though. No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Enjoy free island-wide delivery. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Yes, weekend news is going to be much shorter than what I usually have during the week. Even Mondays most likely will not be as long either. Tuesday to Friday, yes, whatever length. I'm not going to really have much of a specific length for those days during the week. But on a weekend, I'm taking a little rest. So basically, the news reports will be much shorter. Nevertheless, thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please continue to comment, like, and share, and subscribe as well. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.